Welcome to LinguaWire English B1. Today, we have two stories. The US changes its Syria policy and China's growing robot industry. To help you follow today's episode, full transcripts and vocabulary lookups are available at linguawire.com. First, the US removes Syria from a long-running terrorism list. Now we go to Jack, our LinguaWire correspondent for World Affairs.
Thanks, Daniel. The big change is that the United States has removed Syria from its list of state sponsors of terrorism.
That is a major shift. What made Washington do it now?
Officials say the move came after a 45-day review period. That review started when President Donald Trump told Congress on July 8th that he wanted to cancel the old designation.
So this was not a sudden decision. It had to move through a political process first.
Exactly. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the decision was made after what he called positive actions. He also mentioned further commitments by President Ahmed al-Sharaa.
And al-Sharaa welcomed it, right?
He did. He called it historic. He said it would help Syria recover after 14 years of civil war. He also said Syria was turning a page from its painful past. He said it was moving toward development and reconstruction.
That phrase sounds very deliberate. It is about politics, but also about money and rebuilding.
Yes, because this label carried real limits. It affected U.S. aid, defense exports, dual-use items, and some financial transactions. Even after other sanctions were eased, it still made banks and investors cautious.
So removing the label could change how outsiders look at Syria's future.
That is the hope. The Syrian Foreign Ministry said it opens a new chapter in relations with Syria. It also said the move could support economic recovery, reconstruction, and more stability.
I noticed the decision also touched HTS. Why does that matter?
Because Washington also removed the terrorist designation from al-Nusra Front, the group formerly led by al-Sharaa. It is also known as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS. The group was once al-Qaeda's official branch in Syria.
So the US is clearly betting on a new relationship with the current leadership.
That is a fair reading. The Treasury Secretary said the move could help bring more investment. He said it could fit with Trump's promise to give Syria sanctions relief. And the U.S. envoy to Syria called it a decisive step from isolation toward partnership.
Still, one label coming off a list does not fix a country overnight.
No, it does not. But for Syria, this is a strong signal to banks, investors, and governments. It shows Washington is willing to treat the country differently now.
Next, a quieter technology shift in China is moving fast. Now we go to Chloe, our LinguaWire correspondent for technology.
Thanks, Daniel. In China, the most striking robot story is not the humanoid robot on a stage. It is the bigger, quieter change inside factories and classrooms.
So the real story is not the showy machines, but the everyday ones doing work.
Exactly. The report describes industrial robots that weld, paint, lift, and assemble. They work around the clock without breaks or benefits. China already has more than 2 million robots working in its factories.
That number is huge, and it sounds like the country is building this on purpose.
It is. China is also making more than half of the world's industrial robots now. At the same time, it is training students to work with them and even to build better ones.
The classroom scene was vivid. Students were coding while robots stood nearby.
Yes, and their teacher, Chen Tianyu, says he spends his spare time in factories. He says he does it so he can keep up with fast changes. He teaches artificial intelligence and robotics. He warns students that people who are not useful in that world may be left behind.
That is a hard message, but it matches the scale of the change.
It does. China has launched a large plan worth 20 billion to push innovation and compete with the US. One reason for the rush is simple. The workforce is getting older and the population is shrinking.
So this is not only about speed, it is also about a future labor shortage.
Yes. One engineer in Chengdu said the company hopes its new robot will one day think for itself. But for now, it can only do simple repeated tasks, like scanning a QR code.
That sounds very human in a way. Big ambition, but still limited by today's technology.
Right. That tension is important. The country is already exporting robots around the world. But the big unanswered question is what this automation will do to workers. It is also about what it will do to wages and manufacturing over time.
So the revolution is already here, but the social cost is still unclear.
That is the key point. The machines are moving fast. The people around them are trying to keep up.
First, 3 words from Story 2. Robots means machines that can do tasks by themselves or with little help. In the story, robots were working in factories and standing in classrooms. Example: the factory uses robots to lift heavy boxes. Workforce means all the people who work or could work in a place or country. In the story, the workforce was getting older and smaller. Example: the company needs a larger workforce next year. Automation means using machines and systems to do work that people used to do. In the story, it was the quiet change inside factories. Example: automation can make repeated jobs faster. Now for one grammar point, is going to. We use is going to when we talk about a plan or a future change that already feels decided. Example 1. China is going to train more students for robotics. Example 2. The new robot is going to do simple tasks first. Repeat after me, is going to do. That's today's news. Every word you just heard is written out at linguawire.com. The full transcript and a tap-to-check glossary for words you don't yet know. That's linguawire.com. Follow the show so we're there in your feed tomorrow. Speak to you then.